but he's back and doing great. Like I said, he's just a redshirt freshman, and sooner or later he's gonna blossom into a great player.
Dabo, how do you deal with the demands for you to sign things, and especially what's maybe going to come in the next 3 weeks? People want things signed for the holidays, and are you aware of all the Dabo signed stuff there is out there on eBay and on the web? And
I have no idea. Maybe I should. I don't know. Other people pay attention to that stuff. I have no clue. We try to just sign stuff to people. We try not to do generic type of things unless they got a valid like charity or something like that. But it comes with the territory, and I try to be as graceful with my time as I possibly can be to kind of fulfill that role, because I do think that's part of my job. But I just kind of set aside a little time every week to manage that, because if you don't, it just is overwhelming. But I usually take a little time on Thursdays, and then a little time on Fridays when we're kind of done with the plan and all that. And I'll try to. My assistants do a great job of kind of having that stuff organized and vetting it out. Sometimes there's certain things like, nope, can't sign that. But they'll have it organized. I'll come in, have a little block of time, and I'll try to stay on top of it. But sometimes you get behind, and then they do a great job helping me with mail. But it's just just kind of a part of my week, week in, week out.
Anybody got anything else?
You talked about having so many skilled guys that have kind of had that Ray Ray personality. What is it that has set him apart, though, that has allowed him to reach the next level?
Well, I mean, he's just incredibly talented. He brought a great skill set in here. I mean, he's explosive. He's got great lateral quickness. He's as tough as they come. I mean, he is. Y'all have heard me say many times, he thinks he's 6'4", 250. That's his mindset. I mean, he is a really tough kid. And, he understands the game. He played running back pretty much all of high school, but he's got a good understanding of the game. He didn't have a good understanding of playing wide receiver, and just he just wanted to kind of be an athlete, and he's a little undisciplined, and eventually he figured out that he's not going to be successful that way, and so he's become a more technically sound player. He's a better route runner. He's still got a lot of room for improvement. He's much better at his break points and things like that, but he's bigger than people think. He's got decent length to him. He's not a tiny guy, but he's worked harder in the weight room. I think that's helped him as he's improved his strength, which has improved his confidence. But and then just experience, being willing to take coaching. I think that's probably one of the biggest areas of growth that he's had since he got here. And I mean, he'll be the first one to tell you, I have been in his grits from the day he got here. He and I have had our moments. But I just want him to be great. I just want him to reach his potential. And I know what it's going to take for him. But he's responded, I mean, he's responded. Like I said, has become very coachable.
I assume, having done this as long as you have, you can kind of tell those guys that
Oh, yeah.
need to be in their grits.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's exhausting sometimes. But, it's just that sometimes that's why he calls coach. That's what it takes. Some guys you got to say nothing to them. They're Deshaun Watson. I didn't have to say anything to Deshaun Watson. I mean, he just unbelievably driven, and you couldn't coach him enough. If you wasn't coaching him, he's wanting it. He's hey, where you at here? Hey, he was just wired a little differently. Ray Came in with all the swag, and the swag don't get it done. It's the sweat. So I'm proud of him, because again, sometimes when you get guys because he's such a great kid. He's got an awesome personality. He's fun to be around, great mom and dad. You know, I don't think he realized how hard it was going to be. You know, that you don't just, you know, roll out there and play. It wasn't that way for Sammy. It wasn't that way for any of them. Nuke. I mean, you got to put the work in, and you got to become a detail-oriented player. And, you know, I don't think he had quite as much respect for the wide receiver position as he needed. But he figured it out pretty quick, and he's worked his tail off, man, to become a very productive player, to the point that we can say, hey, you know what, let's work him at some corner too. You know, originally we were like, hey, we were going to work him at some run. I'm like, hey, we need to, you know what, we need to get good at one thing here before we worry about anything else. And so that's kind of where we are. We're at that point where I think Ray can really blossom and become that dynamic type of a guy that very few guys can be. I mean, he's got the mentality, he's got the football IQ, and you know, to do a lot of things. And you know, not everybody's got that, but he legitimately can go play corner, can be a great returner. You know, you can do a lot of things with him in the offensive scheme, and you know, he's just become so much more mature in that standpoint. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you recognize that's part of coaching. It's just figuring out where a guy is, and sometimes you got to go meet him right where he is and pull his butt where he needs to be. And sometimes he's pulling against you, and you got to grab him with two hands and keep pulling. And most of the time, they eventually figure it out. And he's a perfect example of that.
Coach Doran reach out to you at all about the laptop over the weekend?
No, he did not. But you know, I don't know who. Somebody asked me. One of y'all asked me about that in the post-conference or press conference. But like I said, I had no clue. I mean, I knew it wasn't anything to do with football, but I did investigate. I did. I followed instructions to do some investigation, and I did. And turns out there was just a major crisis going on, and there was a young guy trying to help a team in need, and I think trying to be helpful in the situation, they trying to get in touch with Amazon. We had a crisis, dire need of towels. All right? And we were trying to get one of them drones to come in and drop some towels on the sideline, and you know, just didn't work out. But so, you know, but on that, I want to launch an investigation too. What do they do with those towels? Is it a towel wall of fame? But no, disappointing because, you know, when that was kind of a challenge to our integrity. And then you watch the tape, and you know, 2 years ago we go up there and one of the coaches pushes Deshaun Watson, and then this year we got some guy take a swipe at Kayvon. You know, what if he breaks a finger? You know, so I think the investigation needs to be managing his side, not worrying about ours. So didn't get a call.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.